Happy Monday, Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. This is the Tennessee versus High Point Panthers preview for tomorrow. The game starts at 4:30 p.m. It'll be on the ESPN Plus app. If you don't have that already, as somebody who's, I guess for the last, it's been my fourth, I guess ever since ESPN Plus has gone into effect, I'd first gotten it to watch UFC pay-per-view, or not necessarily pay-per-views, just UFC back when they first launched it. But little did I know how much college baseball was going to be on that app as well. It's an awesome app, really, this time of year, especially if you're a college baseball fan. As I watched numerous games, I mean, it was fun. Yesterday, I watched Tennessee and Albany come up and record a video, and right after that, I started thumbing through and the North Carolina versus East Carolina game on, and that was a fun baseball game. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good college baseball being played around the country, a lot of good venues and stuff to watch. So that's a lot of fun. But Tennessee High Point 4:30 again tomorrow. Another early start time. I think a lot of it's due to the month. The potential for weather, as we always know this time of year. You never know what's going to happen weather wise. But looking at this game tomorrow, it's a game I feel Tennessee should handle. Again, High Point comes in 2-6. They've kind of been up and down as their schedule. They started off their year. Let's see here. Let me go back to where they start off with University of Massachusetts Lowell. They played a 4-game set. They lost 3 out of 4 at home then they went to Appy State last Tuesday. This past weekend, they Ole Miss. They actually beat Ole Miss on Friday night, but then Ole Miss won 12-2 on Saturday, and they won 25-2 on Sunday. And I know Cody Hahn talked about it a little bit on the broadcast. So High Point has the Big South preseason pitcher of the year and Gus Hughes. He said Tennessee may see him a little bit. I don't see it because he threw Saturday and he threw 92 pitches. I would be really surprised if he turns around and throws again on Tuesday. I would be very, very surprised. I don't even think you'll see him for an inning on that. Last week, it's already said on the pitchers for tomorrow. So I'll get to the pitchers here in just a minute as to who's on the mound. But High Point comes in 2-6 on the year. Now, like I said, they had preseason. Looking at it, preseason pitcher of the year, Gus Hughes. They had 4 preseason all-conference selections. Gus Hughes was the only pitcher. Brett Ahalt, an outfielder, Kel Chatham, an infielder, Adam Stewart, an infielder as well. That was their preseason players of the year. But when I look at their stats, Chatham is 391 on the year. He has 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Their main hitter, as far as for average, has been, and I hope I don't pronounce this wrong, Connie Derschlag. I was looking at, he's a guy from around the Charlotte area. It looks like he is hitting 419. He started all 8 games for them. He has 13 hits, 7 runs. He only has 1 double. So, I mean, he's had all singles during this time. He has no RBIs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Looks like a guy that can steal some bases as well. 4 stolen bases in 5 attempts. Their next guy to play is Charlie Klingler. Looks like he has hit 286 on the season. You've got Adam Stewart, one of the preseason conference players of the year, only hitting 207 right now. He does have 5 RBIs, not slugging, not on base a whole lot. The other one was Ahalt, hitting 161, 290 slugging, 297 on base. So not a good start for those guys for the year. 2-6 record, and yeah, they gave Ole Miss a game on Friday night. This guy they're throwing tomorrow, he is a righty. Going back to that, it's going to be the pitching matchup. Matthew Dallas, that's who I said yesterday I thought would go. That's been confirmed. Dalton Olsavsky for High Point. He's 0-1. He threw last week against Appalachian State. Didn't make it 5 innings. Looked like he gave up, I think it was 5 runs I saw in that game. I expect Tennessee to take care of business. I don't know if the run rule's in effect tomorrow night or not, but this is a game I firmly believe Tennessee can run rule this game. And like I said, Dallas is on the mound tomorrow night. We'll see what guys that you may see. I mean, they've been last week in these midweek, they got their freshman pitchers some action. I do think you'll see Marcus Phillips a little bit tomorrow as going back to Tennessee's schedule, look at the box score from yesterday, and just kind of looking at who pitched in this game. You had Tennessee through, let's see, Sechrist went 2 innings through 23 pitches. Nate Snead, 2 2/3, 23 pitches. Kirby Cannell threw 4 pitches. He went 1/3 of an inning. Banky, 1 inning. Schaefer, 1 inning. I think it may, based on what Banky and Schaefer threw, you could possibly see them turn around and throw a little bit again tomorrow. Uh, I would probably, I would almost bet you see Marcus Phillips throw tomorrow because Vitello he talked about wanting to get him in on Sunday and they didn't. I think that you'll see Phillips a little bit tomorrow. And then it'll be kind of like last week. I think you'll see some of these freshmen get some time again. And again, it's a game I firmly suspect and expect Tennessee will take care of business. Now, it's college baseball. You never know. These midweek games can surprise you sometimes. But just based on what I'm looking at on High Point so far, there's nothing that they're doing that impresses me much. Again, their preseason pitcher of the year, he threw Saturday. He got lit up against Ole Miss, 92 pitches. And then I don't think you'll see him. Their preseason conference players of the year, only one of them has really done a whole lot so far with the bat. And I think Dallas, this will be a good matchup for him to come out and, go with as well. So Tennessee only has the one midweek game this week before they get into Bowling Green this weekend. I've already looked ahead a little bit at Bowling Green as they're 2-4 on the season, as they lost 2-3 against Middle Tennessee the first series of the year, and then they lost 2-3 against Memphis this past weekend as well. And one of them was competitive on Saturday, 14-13. Other than that, Memphis won 9-1 and 13-7. Middle Tennessee won 7-3. Bowling Green won 5-4 on Saturday, and then lost 8-12 on Friday. So it's another weekend I think Tennessee should take care of business with as well. A good week to get some swings. And they've gotten what I've liked that they've done so far. You've seen a lot of guys play. You've seen a lot of young guys pitch, and we've seen a lot of guys get action at the plate. And I firmly suspect tomorrow night, I'm curious to see, I kind of hit my bullet points and look at High Point and what they've done. Who's on the mound? Dallas versus High Point's pitcher tomorrow night. What I want to see, I just want to see him continue to swing that bat. I thought they have taken strides. Last weekend, the first weekend in Arlington, they did some good things, but there were some things we saw, a lot of runners left on base. Tuesday versus UNC Asheville, not their best performance by any means. They were able to come out with that win. But then Vitello switched the lineup against ETSU, and you see what it did. He went back to the old lineup Friday, which it kind of puzzled me. I don't know if it was maybe to get one last look at it or what, against Albany. And they won that game 8-5, and Albany helped them out with some errors. That game come down to Albany had the tying run at the plate when they come in. Tennessee went back to that lineup. I love it with Christian Moore leading off, and you guys have heard me get animated on that. I want my best hitter up there. I want my guy who can hit for average, who can create when he gets on the base paths, who can get on, whether it's by walk or by hit. That's Christian Moore. It's no one else. You only have one guy who leads the game off one time. I want Christian Moore up there leading the game off. Give Blake Burke, give Billy Amick that opportunity to move him around. But then you get through that order, and if the bottom part does their job, guess who's waiting at the top? It's Christian Moore. That's what I want. And if he leads off with a bomb, that's awesome too. I'm not stuck back in the late 80s or anything where I've said I need a Vince Coleman or an Otis Nixon or, that's guys that come to mind off the top of my head. Here, your Ricky Hendersons, your Tim Raines were the exception rather than the norm. Guys who could hit home runs out of the leadoff spot back during that time. Most of your guys were up there to get on base and steal bases. They weren't up there to hit bombs. I have no problem with a guy at the top of the order who can put a little thunder in that lineup to start it off, who can go ahead and start the process of putting that foot on the throat. Christian Moore guy. He's your best player, your best hitter on this team, even though there's probably another guy or two who say, hey, don't leave me out of this one. I mean, Billy Amick's had some tough luck this year, hitting 281. He's hit really well, though. It's just a matter of when his average starts to go up. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Kavaris Cheers has hit good. I've liked what Blake Burke's done the last week. The first weekend, the first couple games, not so much. The start of the Baylor game, not so much. But since that, I feel like he's been a much more patient, a much better, a much more disciplined hitter. If Blake Burke's on and you've got Moore, you've got Burke, you've got Amick, you've got Tears, the way he's swinging, I think you're going to see Robin Villeneuve. It's going to be hard to keep him out of that 5-hole. Cannon Peebles, I feel, will come around as well. Dylan Dreiling, Dean Curley, the way he's been swinging. And then Bargo swung a great bat this week. This is a stout lineup. Tony Vitello has a lot of issues that are good issues, depending on who to play. And Cal Stark's going to get games. He deserves them. You can't catch you're not going to catch Peebles every game on it as well. But I'm just looking for Tennessee to take care of business tomorrow. Get out of it injury-free. Hopefully get, plenty of guys, some at-bats, some swings again tomorrow. And just keep doing what you've been doing for basically 3 of the last 4 games. Friday night, it was okay. Not great. It was okay. Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, they hit the piss out of it. That's what I'm looking for again tomorrow night. I don't think Tony switches that lineup. I think you're getting into get prepared for SEC play, which is not far off at this point. You're looking at Bowling Green this weekend. Next week, you got 2 midweek games. Kansas State, which should be a fun one, Tuesday. Southern Indiana on Wednesday. Next weekend, Illinois. That could be a fun series. Eastern Kentucky the following Tuesday on March 12th. And then the weekend of St. Patrick's Day, you got SEC play opening up at Alabama. So it's on at that point. It's not far off. A little less than 3 weeks till they start SEC playing. I think you'll still see Tony working to get those tweaks, get guys plenty of action leading up to that time. But, as always with this, guys, if you like the content I'm putting out, I ask you please subscribe to this channel, share it out for me. And, I hope you'll like the video as well. If you don't like it, I'm open to constructive criticism, any feedback that you got to make it better. But as always, this is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. Happy Monday. And as always, go Vols.
Everyone rejects